Okay, so I'm going to introduce you, I'm going to make two videos. The first one, the one I'm doing now, is going to introduce you to Moodle, and the second one is going to introduce you to my language labs. So we have two sites that we're using for our class. I want you to think of Moodle as our classroom and my language labs as our textbook workbook, and you're going to need to check both. I know a lot of times students want to work in just one, but you're going to have to work in both. So anyway, at the top side, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a picture of me. This is my email, my phone number, a link to my blog, and my office hours, and that links to my office hours, the site where my office hours are located at Guilford Tech. Phone number. It's fine to call me. If you do call me, though, I suggest that you call during office hours. If you have an issue and you need it to be addressed at other hours, it's probably better to send an email, because I just want to remind you that most of us teach 6 classes, and then we're advising students, and we're on various committees, so we are just not always at our desk, and so email seems to be a better way to communicate with a lot of instructors, myself included. I do have a smartphone, so I check my email fairly regularly. If you look, I think, if I go in here to, and this is also in the syllabus, which I'll pull up in just a minute, but I think I say my turnaround policy is 48 hours between 8 and 2, Monday through Friday. Chances are I'm going to get back to you sooner than then, because, like I said, I have a smartphone and I do check it fairly regularly. However, if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, then you need to send your email again. Either you sent it incorrectly, or I'm not going to lie that sometimes students will send me something and it might be late at night, or it might be over the weekend and I'm in the middle of doing something else and I flag it as something I need to get back to, and then it gets lost in my email. So if something happens and you don't hear from me, then please don't get disgruntled. Just send me another email and I will try to address your concern. Another way you could try to get in touch with me is by setting up your Skype account, and this video right here explains to you how to set up your Skype, and I think I have it set up on my phone so that if you started messaging me via Skype, it'll probably come through as a push notification and I'll actually see it on my phone. Additionally, with that, if I leave it up a lot, so I would see you messaging me if I'm on my computer, and we can share our screens and actually see each other. So if you watch this video, it'll tell you the various things you can do. I'm not super savvy with Skype because most of the time my students, I had one semester where a lot of students would text message me via Skype, but other than that, I haven't had a lot of students who've chosen to use it, even though I think it's a great tool. So what else is out here in our Moodle site? You've got my information, my blog, which I already have open right here. The blog is nothing that you have to do. I just a lot of times like to, if I'm going to use links in class, I'll often put them out here just so I can more quickly open them, but then they're available to you. So there's a lot of like cultural and grammar information that's on the blog, and so you're welcome to go out there and look at it whenever you so choose. Let's see, what else is there? So you're going to find the syllabus out here, the grading rubrics. These are rubrics generated by my language labs, and I'll ask you sometimes to record your voice or to write papers, well, not really papers, like little paragraphs for me that will be in my language labs. And these are the rubrics that I use to score your papers. So that way you'll know why you're getting the grade that you're getting. Okay. Course schedule, this just tells you when your homework is due. I have homework coming in before midnight on Thursday. Okay, and then I think the other is the grade book. That just takes you to the grade book. And then over here, some additional resources, things dealing with my language labs. I think I'll talk about the my language lab stuff when I get into my language labs, but then there's also tutoring links, technical support, the library, student services, accent marks, problems with an assignment, and the rest of the stuff deals with my language labs. Sorry about that. Okay, so what else in Moodle? You guys are an online class, so Make sure you look at the videos. I just want to remind you that this course provides a review and expansion of the essential skills of the Spanish language. So when you complete it, you should be able to communicate effectively, accurately, and creatively in the past, present, and future in Spanish. What else? Also, what's important for you guys is just remember that since you're an online class, that you have to complete an assignment online before the census date or by the census date to get counted for the class. And the census date is the 19th, and so this is the assignment that you need to complete before the 19th. So let me also pull up our syllabus and walk you through that. You saw our syllabus on the side. This just tells you what the class is. This gives you the book, and if you remember, we'll go through my language lab shortly, but there's an e-text, and if you just want to use the e-text, especially since you're online and you're not even coming to campus to see me, the e-text is fine. This is the URL for my language labs, but like I've said before, I have links all throughout the course. Whenever there's an assignment and it's taking you out to my language labs, I've tried to put a link. So there's tons of links to my language labs in case you forget. And just remember that it's really important, since we'll be in my language labs, to get yourself set up. This is a video that tells you how to set yourself up, and there's the course code that you'll need. If you already have access to my language labs and don't need to repurchase it, just enroll in the course and plug in this particular course code. What else? Make sure also you have access to high-speed internet, email, Moodle, Skype if you want to use it, and make sure that your computer has a way for you to record your voice and to listen to the auditory pieces of my language labs. Most computers are already built with this stuff and you wouldn't have to use it. I like using a microphone. I think I actually use the one that went with my phone. I have an iPhone and it seems to work pretty well. So I use that all the time. Like right now, that's what I'm on. And I just do that to minimize. You probably still will hear kids in the background sometimes, but I do that to minimize either the sounds that are in my office or the sounds whenever I'm making a video at home. This just goes over my office hours, the beginning date, the census date, the withdrawal date. Just remember that I already went over the census situation, that you have to complete an activity on or before the census date to remain in the class. Then the withdrawal date, if you want to withdraw from the course, you have to do that. You have to get the form. Basically, for an online class, you just have to send me an email, and I'll give you the information that I need from you. It'll be like the last time that you logged into Moodle, your name, your student ID, the course and section name, and then I forward that on to the individual who actually officially withdraws you from the course. These are the student learning outcomes. This is what we hope for you to be able to do upon completion of the class. This is the grading scale. This is how you're evaluated in my class. So make sure you do everything, even if it looks like it's less points. Remember that even if you skipped all the cultural activities, you would have to, if you got 100 on everything else, you're starting off at a 90. And it's hard to get 100 on everything. If you miss both homework, classwork, and cultural activities, and you got 100 on everything else, you're starting at a 75. So you can see how important it is to do even the stuff you don't think is important. This just tells you to contact if you have a problem. You should start with me. If I cannot resolve it or you don't feel like I did resolve it, then you go to the department chair, Shelley Lutzweiler, and then you go to above her to the division chair, Dr. Laura Iannuzzi. This just tells you who to contact if you have a disability that needs accommodations in the classroom setting. This just tells you who to contact if you encounter a Title IX or a violation of Title IX, either just at the school or in our particular classroom environment. And this just tells you what the support is. This is who you contact for support with Moodle. Since we also have my language labs, if you need support with my language labs, you're going to want to call this number. Okay, they might be able to help you with Pearson here, but more than likely you're going to need to contact Pearson. Here, I don't know how I missed this, but I will contact you through Moodle, letting you know what you need to do in case classes got canceled. Probably in a video message, something like what I'm giving you now. This is information about tutoring and tutoring.com. This is information about attendance. I'm not going to throw you out of class, but if you miss more than 2 weeks worth of work, like if you haven't come to class in 2 weeks, then your grade is probably suffering. And so just recognize if you miss that much or more of class, that you cannot hope to be successful. You really need to attend class. And if you can't, if attending class is not something you were hoping to do, then this is early enough in the semester that you should switch to the online environment. This just tells you what the conduct policy is, and the email turnaround policy I already went over with you guys. I don't really take late work, but if you have a problem with an assignment, this is all the information I need from you in your email. And just to remind you that, this syllabus is subject to change.